In this episode, does less popular mean not as good? How many times did you see the dog? And how much do you trust your fuel gauge?
Road tripping with my two favorite allies. Fully loaded, we got snacks and supplies. It's time to leave this town, it's time to steal away. Let's go get lost anywhere in the USA. Let's go get lost, let's go get lost. Blue, you sit so pretty west of the one. Sparkle like with yellow icing, just a mirror for the sun. Just a mirror for the sun. Just a mirror for the sun. These smiling eyes are just a mirror for.
Welcome to Best Bikes in SA. We try and find the best bikes in South Australia. Today looking at a Yamaha XVZ 1300 Royal Venture, which the name is nearly as long as the wheelbase. Not as well known as the Honda Goldwing when it comes to a big comfy touring bike, but just as good, if not better, in a lot of ways. I sold these back when they were brand new, and was really impressed by how good they were to ride for something that just looks so big and heavy and hard to handle. Not my kind of bike. I do like things that are bigger again, but this will do for today. Zoltan, tell me how you ended up with the gold. Tell me. Okay, take two. Zoltan, tell me how you ended up with the Venture instead of the Goldwing.
I bought this bike 5 years ago. It was my birthday present on the 50.
Oh, nice.
And it was specific because I would like something when really comfy, and I want to do a long trip. So when I bought this one a little bit more than 5 years ago, then drive up to Darwin and Kakadu National Park, cross the border to Queensland, up to Cooktown, and then it was 13,550 kilometers.
How long did you do?
Didn't rush, so that was my 50th birthday trip.
Yep.
And it took like 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah. As well.
You did that solo then? You didn't
just
have...
by myself.
Right.
Yeah.
So pick up any hitchhikers on the way?
No. No. But there's lots of people is really interested in who traveling by car or little vans. So everybody, when I stop, is just look for how beautiful and how far from you come.
So in that sort of riding, going up to Darwin, it's been a while since I've been there. Was there much dirt roads you had to go on?
No. Actually, accidentally, I did once. Yes, when I went up to Northern Territory from Kings Canyon, and I thought I make a little bit shortcut to Alice Springs, and I choose the dirt road. It was terrible, terrible. With this bike, it's 400 kilograms in empty, and I had extra 10 liters and plus my tent and my stuff for 2 months, so food, everything, so it was really, really heavy. And in the dirt road, it was...
It was scary.
Absolutely scary and shaking always, and it was bad.
Was there times where you were worried you weren't going to make the next petrol station?
No, because I always had an extra 10 liters with me.
You had
so I prepare myself. Actually, that was very smart things, because I had a couple of times when I was on petrol stations, so it's really, really neat sometimes.
100%. What's the most kilometers you did in one day?
Yes, a little bit did the miscalculation, so that was a problem, and I did 650 kilometers, but in the last 50 kilometers I sitting every position as I can, and like in the Kama Sutra, every pose I did, and I was so waiting to arrive that I can't stop in the middle of nothing, it's a motorbike, and it wasn't any parking place or something that I can pull over to build up my tent.
You just had to get there.
And yeah, it was like I have to do that one, but it was so tiring, that one.
So, because there's not lots of these out there, what was your knowledge of them as why you were particularly trying to find one, or this just popped up and it looked like it was going to be good for the job?
Well, I look for some Japanese. I really trust the Japanese factories,
Yep.
and I look for something Goldwing Honda or this Adventure, because that one I saw is a huge and big enough for me, and every luxury zone
Yeah,
as a
it's
cruise
got
control.
pretty much all the things that you
Absolutely,
need.
yeah. So that's just amazing. So
I don't know if this was part of your thinking. Me personally, I've always liked buying things that aren't as well known or aren't as popular, which doesn't mean that they're worse. It's just they're not as well known. And you can pick up a bike like that, like in this case, way cheaper than a Goldwing because it's not a Goldwing.
Yeah.
Still just as good, but you get a lot more money in your pocket for the same sort of price. And then, when you go to sell it afterwards, it'll be cheaper than any Goldwing that's
right.
out there and still do the job. And 50,000 Ks, like we said, it's nothing.
yeah.
Now, we ask everyone, particularly because you're up in Darwin where there's some unrestricted roads, what's the top speed you've taken her to?
Yes, I tried once, and I went up to 160, 170. Yeah, it's legal to ride there, and I
Yeah.
tried that, and just I recognized as the speedo going up, the fuel going down. So I said, okay. That's I did like 10 Ks on 160, and I said, okay, it's enough.
Yeah, the last long ride I did on one of these was back in Sydney working for a dealership, and we had one put on as a demo when they first came out. So I took this down to Sydney with my now X on the back. And the fuel gauge on these on the dash, you've got a few bars, and then you get to one bar, and then that bar starts flashing. And then from memory, there's a fuel light as well that comes on when you're running really low. And she's seen that on the back over my shoulder, the fuel go down, and then the lights start flashing, and she's like tapping me on the shoulder and panicking that we're going to run out of fuel and not make it. I knew there was still a reserve tap on the tank, but she didn't know that. And we got to Canberra fine because it's not that far from Sydney. But yeah, it was fun teasing her that we were going to run out of fuel on this big heavy bike on the way to Canberra. And right. So each episode we do a quiz to find out how much people know about their bikes.
And we'll never be royal.
1, 2, 3 storage areas on them. What's the literage that Yamaha says they can hold
Each or
in total?
the total 35.
One cool thing with these, like you mentioned before, is the radio system on them. How many AM preset stations can you have?
6.
I was really surprised to find this out. How many oversized piston and ring sets will Yamaha sell?
I guess 2.
The front mudguard, it's highlighted by the metallic Yamaha little sort of badge or ornament, I'm not sure what you'd call it. If you broke that, would it cost you more or less than $100 to replace it?
No, more.
Well, how much less power does this make than the VMAX?
How much less power?
Which is probably really hard if you don't know the VMAX so well because you've owned this one anyway.
Not much. Don't know. 30?
Well, once again, we'll have to wait and see.
And we'll never be royal.
Finding a touring bike that's made to do long distance that hasn't done a lot, it's definitely a standout. So I think it's fair to say it's the best in SA.